Okay, well, hello everybody. I think you'll just going past the frame little pictures. So I got set up outside here to just clean up the front and rear rim. So like I mentioned earlier, I can pop it on the bike and have a roller. So if I do have to move it, I think I'm going to, because told you my neighbor bought a little DT175, and so I'm going to help him get that running. Put this on the back burner for a day or so. But I'll give you a little close up of the rim, and you can see, it's pitting pretty good, but I've worked worse. So, all right, let's see here. I'm gonna reach around. This side of the rim. This rim is actually not too bad a shape. The other side. Let me swing that down. My camera work is fantastic. Sorry about that, but you can see that is some pretty good pitting there. This is the side that was sitting on the ground of the rim. So anyway, put that back down, spin this back around. You probably got seasickness from the way I move my camera around all the time. I understand they make stabilizers and stuff like that, but I got to get a few extra bucks set aside. Of course, I need parts for this bike, and it'd be nice to have a proper digital camera, not use my phone. With just an SD card, you pop it in and be done. But that ain't in the budget either. So I'm gonna just pan down a little bit with the camera. You can watch me start off doing this, and I'm not gonna bore you with the whole time. It was bad enough watching me, sandblast and paint the frame. So, but okay. That is my story. So I'm gonna put this down and jiggle the camera around. I know you guys like that shit. And let's see here. All right, I'm just gonna jabber as I go. It's what I normally do anyway. And the old famous SOSs. Boy, these came out, I think, back in the 50s or 60s or something, and they haven't changed since. And they still do the job. All right, I'm going to do the good side, so that way it gets me excited. Keep going. This goes by pretty fast. The spokes are going to take many hours with a piece of. I use it comes in a roll, plumber's sandpaper. They use, for when you're doing sweating copper and stuff like that. When you're cutting and stuff like that, you give it a quick spin on this roll of stuff you have in your bag, and then you put your flux on, and you go from there. And I have it from back when I was a plumber. I've had it all these years. That was, Jesus. Holy man, that's got to be. I was a plumber back in the 80s. I had my New Hampshire license, and I think I did it for about, I don't know, 15 years, 12 years or something like that. I was going for my master's, and I just got burnt out from, the life of a plumber is in the wintertime you're freezing your ass off in some building that has no heat. All of your fluxes and glues are all all frozen. And we were doing the submarine base down in Groton, Connecticut. We were down there for, oh my God, must have been 3 or 4 months at that point, but it was on the dead of winter in Maine, and Connecticut, and it was blistering cold, absolutely blistering cold, and it really sucked. And then one day I'm out there with a miner's pick trying to break ground for a underground piping system, and I said, that's it, I've had enough. I packed up my tools into my 1978 Trans Am and drove home, and I think I ended up doing working for a local place, doing commercial, residential plumbing, where I wasn't traveling and that kind of stuff, and you're not as freezing your ass. I only did it for a couple more years, and then I moved on. I believe I was a purchasing agent for a plumbing supply outfit in County Supply in Lowell, Massachusetts, and I was there for many years. And yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, this pitting here is, unless you have this rim re-chromed, it ain't happening. The rest of the rim I'll show you. Came out pretty nice. I told you I wasn't going to have you sit here and watch me do this freaking thing, but obviously, like I said, this goes by pretty quick. And I'll show you how much it came out, how much pitting is still there. And okay, let's get this over here. So, not too bad. It's minimal work. This side here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not. All through here, that's where the big rust was, and the chrome is actually missing there now. So what I'll actually end up doing is afterwards I'll take a little mini paintbrush, and I have a can of clear, and I'll just put a little bit of clear coat right on the real bad rust, and that way it won't continue, and you won't be able to see the clear coat, and it just helps protect it. But overall, that's not too bad. So let me put this back down so you can see my beautiful face. And so yeah, very interesting, I know. But this is, if any of you guys are deciding to, or been inspired to, buy an old antique motorcycle, an old barn find, garage find, whatever it may be, and wanted to give it a try yourself, you can see it's pretty simple stuff. You might have to get a little bit of help with the mechanical if it gets, if there's an issue with the motor. But really, if you have a little bit of mechanical ability, you take it apart, and on the early days, every time you take something apart, you put it in a baggie, and you write swing arm bolts or whatever it may be. And that way, you're not having the issue of trying to remember where everything came from if you just put it in a big dish. I'm just so used to doing this. I can look at a bolt and say, oh, okay, that's going to be a swing arm bolt, or that's going to be a caliper bolt. They just have a certain look, and Japanese bikes, Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Suzuki, they've all had the kind of a standardized thing, and it's easy. You'll get to that point. But it's very rewarding. To get something I liked when you start out and they're really rough like this 400 is, and when you're done, it's stand 20 feet away and it looks like a brand new motorcycle. It depends on obviously the level of restoration you go through, but yeah, you can, if you have the pocket. You can send your gas tanks and side covers off of paint. You can send the fenders out and have them re-chromed, have the frame powder coated. There's all kinds of things you can do, but if you want to make, say you're building something as a rider for yourself and not a resale, you make it look as good as you can, and it's very rewarding. It's therapy for me. Being retired now, I have a lot of free time on my hands. It used to take, a year or two in some cases to do a restoration, because I would have maybe one day a week, if I was lucky, to be able to spend a whole day in the garage. And in the early days where there was no internet, it was, going to swap meets and you know, word of mouth and stuff like that, it was hard. With the internet now, you know, you need an intake boot and it comes out of Australia, it'll be to your house in a week and a half, you know, so how cool can that be? So it's, but again, you know, find a beater. First thing you do is clean those carburetors, pop them in, and make sure you've got a viable motor. And at that point, the rest of it's all cosmetics. You know, even if it stays a little rough looking, but you get it running and you get some good tires on it, so you're safe. Frickin' have a good time ride. But okay, enough of that stuff there. So I'm going to continue on. I'm going to do up the other front rim and get them on the bike so it's a roller. Yeah, just continue doing what I do. And like I said in the other video, sorry for screwing up on my year of the bike. I should have just looked at the steering neck. I looked at the, you know, the bill of sale. And I've had the bike so long it just didn't sink. So, sorry. All right, guys. See you later. Well, I had to show you those because I think might have been yesterday or the day before I uploaded a video showing those pieces, thinking they weren't going to be saved. I should be endorsed by Evaporust, which I'm not, but the stuff is so frickin' good that I can't say enough about it. It's been a game changer for me. Instead of sitting there with a wire brush and you know, kind of, you know, with every single individual nut and bolt, as I take it off the bike, I put it in a little basket and I put it in the stuff, and when I take it out, it's like brand new. I'll show you these, the bolts that I'm going to show you in a minute were rusted to death. They were front caliper, I'm sorry, front rotor holding bolts, and they came out spectacular. So Evaporust, if you're out there, give me a bunch more and I'll be a happy guy. But anyway, this is what I wanted to show you. Those shocks, if you remember it, were just, yeah, I'll have to repaint this. No big deal. Big deal. You know, it was just horrible. They were just completely. I thought I was going to have to throw them away and buy new shocks. They were that bad. And there's that brake stay. And look at it. Good look. And I haven't rubbed it or done anything to it. I've literally just put it in the Evaporust. These are the brake stay bolts. Look at that. That is amazing. What a product. That was orange with rust. So if you guys want to get into this, or you didn't know about it or whatever like that, it's $25 a gallon. It ain't cheap, but the hours that it saves you rubbing and wire wheeling and all that other stuff, trying to get, or having to source new hardware, well worth the money. So that's what I wanted to show you. Thanks, guys. Panning, a professional outage.